Okay, so this is game number 2, about 20 minutes in, and the enemy team has gotten both tier 1s on the top and the bottom lanes down, and mid turret's the last one that's still holding. Right now they've got a really significant lead, they're about 4k ahead. They've got advantages in every lane actually, and jungle. So, when you're getting pushed back, the most important thing, the thing that's going to get you back into the game is better vision placement, defensive vision placement, and careful plays and picks, right? In order to get picks, you need to have your vision up, and that's so important. So what I want to make sure everybody is mindful of is every time you back, always buy a pink ward, right? This is a little bit less so for ADC, but everybody should be buying a pink ward every time they go back to base. And do not use the excuse of I've got a full inventory, I've got 6 items. Like unless you have an item that's like critically important for those stats right then and there, or it's like a stopwatch or something, don't fill up that 6 slot. That 6 slot belongs to a ward until you have an actual real item to put into that slot, right? So the thing that we want to do right now here is we're pushed back, right? The team is so far ahead they can just ARAM and siege down mid, or they can be setting up vision traps in the river, right? Because Baron's up, they're probably not going to take it because they've got a Jhin and it's only 20 minutes in. But they could bank on the fact that like, oh, okay, these guys might get squirrely. They might look for like, okay, they might be trying to get vision in the river because they're scared or whatever, right? So the thing that you want to be worried about is ARAM down the middle. If you don't see them ARAMing down the middle, you need to have vision on your sides, especially if they've got assassins like a Zed or an Eve, which they do. So, or a flanker like Fiora, which they do. So, in order to cover your asses and to protect this mid turret, you need to ward up the flank paths from the mid turret, right? To do that, you need pink wards, right? Because what they're doing, what they're likely doing, is that they're throwing green wards over this wall, they're throwing green wards over this wall, and they're going to wait to trap you and engage you from the bush, like, right? Like if they've got a Blitzcrank or a Thresh or a Leo here, likewise over here, you're in trouble, right? So we want to put a pink ward on this side, a pink ward over here, and don't go for any greens here. All you're doing is disabling the vision, right? Once you place a pink here and you see a green, just leave it alone, all right? Because if you start hitting it, that means you're just going to get grabbed over the wall. So don't do that, right? The only thing you're doing is denying the vision and maintaining your own vision. So put a pink ward here, put a pink ward here. Now again, because these are dangerous, you don't want to just walk into this path and start putting your ward down, right? Because you could just get grabbed over the ledge. What you want to do is you want to go around the raptor path, throw your pink ward over the wall, and just walk away. Just leave it. If they come and clear it, that's fine. They've got the pressure. That's what they're allowed to do. Same with the blue side. Uh, get over in this bush and throw your pink ward around the elbow of this path, right? All you're doing is denying vision and maintaining a line of your own vision, right? You don't want to challenge for vision right next to a fog of war spot, okay? So, everybody buy pink wards. If both side turrets are down and they're shoving mid, get flank wards up on the sides, especially if there's objectives up in the river that you're going to need to go through, right? This is where your line starts, right? Normally, if the game state is even, you got your vision line in the river. When the game state is against you guys and you're facing pressure, the vision line falls back into the interior wall of this jungle here, right? If this T2 goes down, that vision falls back even further, right? But at this state in the game right now, you want pinks over here and a pink over here. Um, because you are about to see how dangerous this is. Now look here, all Troll was trying to do was he was trying to get a ward into the bush, right? Makes sense, right? You want to get vision onto that bush because it's probably dangerous. But this is one of those instances where um, you're trying to ward a bush that's already been compromised, right? So the better thing to do is just to put your pink in front of you and just walk away. Ideally, I wouldn't even get this close to the bush, right? Just throw it over the Raptor River and call it good. Because even as big and burly as Troll is here, he's just gonna get caught, and that's all they're waiting for. Especially if you've got a comp like this, like they have, where they've just got a bunch of like assassins and a Jhin and like a Leo. They don't have a ton of great team fighting options, but if they get a pick, then they can just swarm in and start taking towers with impunity. So again, sideward here, sideward here, throw it safely over the wall that's behind it. Okay, so we're coming up on tower defense number 2. Or 3, sorry. Okay, so let's take a look, right? They are A-ramming, right? They've got 5 dudes on the middle. They're just kind of going to try to jam it down into the inhib turret, right? So the thing that we want to make sure that we're paying attention to is what their team is capable of, right? Inhib turrets are a lot harder to take just by merit of like it being inside of your base and behind the giant walls. For them to really actually attack you, they've got to overextend themselves pretty hard. And you've got a lot of zone control with Lilia as well as Anna. So let's take a look and see. I think there's a okay, so there's going to be a catch here on Fiora at some point because Fiora really doesn't have any business getting this far up and trying to melee the turret down. So you guys are good in engaging on her. But the thing that you do want to be mindful of, influence goes in, right? All right, he's getting some damage down. He looks like he's going to dash out to escape. That's great. He's got an ignite on her. That's great. They're all bunched up, and this looks like the dream, right? This looks like the freaking Lilia's time to shine. Normally that would be the case, but Anna and Troll are like, what, 10 seconds out from joining this fight? So you guys are looking at a 5v3 right now, okay? Even though it's advantageous, Lily can blow a lot of shit. She can do a lot of work here. Um, Enemies, ultimate's down. Ash Arrow just got spent, right? Oh, no, no. No, it's about to get spent. Let's do it here, yeah. Okay. That would have been good. This looks really nice. This looks like a freaking fantastic fight. But the thing that you want to do is that you've got, this is kind of like Kenobi's, like you got the high ground, right? This is where you want to be. This is your base. You want to stay in your base. The base protects you. Don't leave your base, especially if you're behind, right? Um, so even though Fiora's hurt, that exhaust is going to wear off, and they still have like ultimates. They still have got a lot of burst damage here. So it's really optimistic to try to force this. Like Influence took a ton of damage on the exit, right? He can't really and his ulti's down, right? He's not going to go back in. You've only got Jake is for damage, and whatever Dishonor's going to do before he gets splatted by jumping into like 5 dudes solo. So, um, get a little hyphy here, right? The best play to do is get your damage in, back Fiora off. You've still got your inhib turret, you still got your inhib. Um, if you walk away only losing 2 towers off of that smash in the middle, then that's great. That's fine. So, yeah, this is looking really, really good, really tasty. But yeah, Dishonor is way too overextended. Now Troll's here, and now Anna's here. But Zed's able to dive. We're missing a lot of cooldowns, and I think Jake gets killed here. No, he survives. He survives. Oh, he does get killed, yeah. So at this point, the play's blown, right? Um, you might be able to salvage some kills. You probably get some shutdowns. Um, but oh, I hate Zed. He's the worst. Okay, so all in all, I don't know if this was a positive play. It was definitely like an unnecessary play. You've got Morg, you've got your mid, they've got 3 alive. Do they continue sieging? I think, yeah. So I think had everybody stayed on the turret instead of kind of getting all bloodlusted, we'd still have inhib turret. I don't know if they take. I don't think they take inhib here. Yeah, but basically, yeah, we could have defended inhib turret and we just gave it up for free-ish. I don't know. I think there were some bounties that got caught with that, but either way, as a general rule, like if you're defending your inhib turret, just stay in the base unless you got like all 5 guys in like a really good engage. And if Troll and Anna were there, that would have been the best engage possible for you guys. But yeah, it's best to just preserve your inhib turret because those towers are the only. It's so easy for somebody like Fiora to just walk up and just like fucking smash this thing in like 10 seconds. So you really need your towers, and it's important to keep those up at all costs. Okay, so we're looking at the game-ending play right here. You guys just smashed the hell out of them with your great frickin' comeback. It was awesome. The dream's still alive. And we push all the way up to their Nexus turrets. things are looking good, right? You've shrunk the lead down to just what, not even 2K, I think. Um, yeah. So let's go and see. Oh, even get the Nexus turret down. Nice. Okay. So here, the next play is Dragon. It's Elder. That's their win condition, right? We've got to stop their win condition now. So the best thing to do here is to set up a gank play, right? Which we start doing, which is great. Ideally, we have two sweepers. We've got, yeah, so um, ideally Dishonor and Anna, you guys take separate paths, which I think you do. Separate paths sweeping down both ways, right? You want to clear all the vision out of here. If you can drop a pink into this wolf camp, that's even better to keep them from putting vision on their way in. And yeah, so I don't know if we do. Here's this. Yeah, here's the spot right here. So Dishonor should be sweeping right here. Sweep all the way down, clear all the vision. Anna should be sweeping all the way down, clear vision. Drop a pink on the wolf camp, and then camp out in either of these two bushes, right? Either way, they don't have vision. We'll switch over to them. Yeah, they've got no vision to this jungle, but just in case they had wards behind you, you don't want to get like, yeah, you just don't want to be spotted. So, anyways, we'll keep going. Let's see, there's a ward there, and they are expecting something here, right? So this right here, we're super, super scattered. So the most important thing to do is to have everybody close together on a bush gank, especially if they don't have like a ton of like ranged area effect damage. Like there's no Rumble ulti, there's no like Braum or anything like that, so or Nivea, like you could stack up. Either way, this is where we kind of failed to recognize the ideal team fight scenario. The reason why you guys were able to turn this around was because they bunched up into a tight formation. They all got grabbed by Mordekaiser. They were eating his frickin' aura damage. Influence was tearing him up, and Dishonor got all that frickin' lovely Lilia AoE damage, right? And is stunning everybody. We want them all bunched up, right? We don't win this fight by flanking, and I think that's what ends up happening here. Because really, we got Jin, right? He's dead to rights. So the play to do is for Dishonor to pop that bush and fly over here and get in formation so everybody fights front to back, right? Jin was their back line. He was dumb enough to step up front. He's going to eat a bunch of stuns and just die for it, right? Once he's dead, there's really nobody in the back line you're threatened by, right? Like there's no ranged damage threat. So Lily needs to get over to the bush, or hop over to the blue buff spawn, and then just fight front to back. That's all we need to do. But with split damage, it's not what we're looking for, right? So Jin's dead. They're all regrouping. Now our backline has to Zonia's because Zed is there, right? So they're out of the fight for a little bit while they're going golden. So yeah, yeah, Lilia just got popped because they have all this assassin damage. And Fiora was lucky enough to get her ulti down first, so they're getting a lot of healing. Also, there's a redemption coming into play too. So I think, yeah, they're getting healing, and I think we just get out damaged here or something. Oh yeah, there's a Zed. He's still dropping damage. Leona can apparently solo 80 carries 35 minutes into a game, and Influence cannot win the 2v1. So really, this fight was ours to win. We just had to fight front to back, that's all. So it's really important to figure out what formation you guys are supposed to fight in, and proceed with that. So yeah, lesson for next time. All right, so we are in the recap phase for game two. First takeaway for game number two is going to be everybody needs to buy a pink on every back. It's very important. You don't. Why does it say Annie buys two? We'll go with that. That's fine. Yeah, each back buy pink, no matter what, and unless you're going to complete an item, that's fine. but don't fill up with 6 items. Always reserve that 6 slot for your pink. Pinks are critically important. We don't have enough pinks down, so let's just get in the habit of always having them in inventory. Takeaway number 2. Do not chase out of base when defending the inhib turret. There are exceptions to this rule, but until we are at a sense to where everybody knows like when go time is, just as a general rule, don't chase out of the base. Just when you're defending the inhib turret, if some guy sticks his neck out, sure, cut him off from his teammates, but if you're in a position where you're being forced back into your base, don't give up the advantage of all that base protection. And the third takeaway, you need to mind your team fight formation. In the lobby, instead of talking about, what the next, PlayStation game is or who's got the cool white shoes, instead of all that stuff, talk about your team formation, talk about how you guys are going to fight. Does your team want to fight front to back? Do you have somebody that's going to be TPing flank attacks on them? And always, always, always pay attention to your formation and respect that plan. Okay? All right, on to the next one.